Let me ask you something. Have you ever cooked a simple meal, turned around, and wondered how the kitchen looks like it survived a storm? You didn't make a five-course dinner, but somehow the cleanup feels bigger than the cooking. And if you're anything like me, it's not the recipe that drains you. It's the bending, the scrubbing, the re-wiping, the "why am I this tired" feeling afterward. So today, I'm sharing 15 smart kitchen cleanup hacks that help you save time and reduce fatigue without cleaning harder. These aren't obvious tips. They're strategic shifts that make your kitchen feel easier. Let's get into it. Number 1. The contain the mess before it starts tray trick. Let me tell you something most people don't realize. Cleaning doesn't exhaust you because it's hard. It exhausts you because the mess spreads. You pour oil, tiny drip. You grab the salt, a little sprinkle. You stir the sauce, small splatter. Individually, nothing. Collectively, now you're wiping 3 counters, the stove edge, and somehow the fridge handle too. Here's the smarter way. Before you even start cooking, take a large tray, could be a baking sheet, a plastic serving tray, even one of those old decorative trays sitting in the cupboard, and place all your active ingredients on it. Oil bottle, on the tray. Salt, pepper, spice jar, on the tray. Sauce bottle, on the tray. Now, when you drizzle, shake, or splash, it lands on the tray. The tray becomes the battlefield. The rest of your kitchen stays innocent. When you're done cooking, you don't wipe the entire counter. You lift one tray, wipe one surface, finished. That's it. It sounds almost too simple, but this trick reduces the cleaning area by 70 to 80%. And here's the hidden bonus. It also reduces decision fatigue. Everything you need is in one contained space. No hunting around, no extra steps, less walking, less bending. You're not cleaning faster. You're cleaning less. And that's the real secret. 2. Keep a sink squeegee, not just for showers. Now this one feels almost ridiculous until you try it. Most people finish washing dishes and then grab a towel to dry the sink. That means bending, wringing, re-wiping, sometimes doing it twice because water streaks remain. Instead, keep a small rubber squeegee in your sink caddy. After you rinse the sink, just swipe the water toward the drain. One smooth motion, maybe 2, 10 seconds. No wringing cloths, no soaked towels, no streaks. Here's why this matters more than people think. When water sits in the sink, it leaves mineral spots. Then those spots make the sink look dirty again. So you scrub. More fatigue. When you squeegee it dry quickly, your sink stays shiny longer, which means you deep clean less often. And there's something strangely satisfying about that smooth swipe motion. It feels efficient, controlled, almost professional. You'll catch yourself thinking, well, that was easy. And partner, easy is exactly what we're aiming for. 3. The double trash bowl cooking method. This one right here saves more steps than a fitness tracker. Think about how many times you walk to the trash while cooking. Onion peel, garlic skin, chicken wrapper, paper towel, plastic packaging. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Each trip might seem small, but over a full meal, that's a lot of unnecessary walking and standing. Here's the shift. Before you start cooking, place 2 bowls on the counter. One bowl is for food scraps, peels, ends, trimming bits. The second bowl is for dry trash, wrappers, packaging, paper. And here's the key move. Line both bowls with a grocery bag. Now everything drops right in as you cook. No stepping away from the stove, no turning around mid-task, no bending over trash bins. When you're done cooking, you tie the bags and toss them. The bowls? Still clean. No sticky residue. No rinsing. No extra dish added to the cleanup pile. You just eliminated multiple walking trips, extra bending one more dish to wash. And that, my friend, is how you reduce fatigue without even realizing it. 4. The foil under the burner reset. Now before we even start, quick note, this works for gas stoves or electric coil burners, not glass-top stoves. Those are a different animal. If you've ever lifted one of those burner drip pans and thought, well, that's a disaster, you already know the problem. Grease splatters don't just sit there politely. They bake, they caramelize, they turn into a science experiment. And then one day you decide, I should clean this. Big mistake. You're scraping. You're soaking. You're questioning your life choices. Here's the smarter way. Before things get ugly, line the drip pan area lightly with foil. Nothing fancy. Just enough to catch the splatter before it turns into a permanent resident. Now when grease drips, it lands on foil, not directly on the metal pan. After a few weeks, instead of scrubbing like you're restoring an antique, you peel the foil off, toss it, and replace it. Reset complete. It's not about avoiding cleaning, it's about avoiding baked-on scrubbing, the kind that requires force. And force is what drains energy. Think of it like putting a mattress protector on a bed. You're protecting the thing that's annoying to clean. And partner, anything that turns a 20-minute battle into a 60-second reset, that's a win. 5. The 2-towel rule that cuts rewashing. Now this one sounds almost too simple, but it's powerful. Most people clean with one towel. That towel starts dry, then it gets damp, then it gets soaked, then it starts spreading water instead of absorbing it. And before you know it, you've wiped the same counter 3 times because it keeps streaking. That's fatigue disguised as effort. Instead, keep 2 dedicated towels nearby. One slightly damp microfiber for cleaning. One completely dry towel for finishing. The damp one lifts crumbs and grease. The dry one polishes and absorbs leftover moisture. No streaks, no re-wiping, no, why is this still wet? Here's the part people don't think about. When surfaces dry properly the first time, they stay cleaner longer. Water streaks attract dust and grime faster. So that second towel? It's not extra work. It prevents future work. And let's be honest, wiping something once and seeing it actually look clean, that feels satisfying. There's something peaceful about finishing a job in one pass. One wipe, done. That's the energy-saving mindset. 6. Clean in reverse order. Now this one is less about tools and more about strategy. Most people clean in whatever order feels urgent. They sweep first because they see crumbs, then wipe counters, then maybe wipe the stove. Then notice something fell again, so they sweep again. That right there? That's repeat fatigue. Instead, clean from top to bottom and from inside outward. Start with clearing clutter, then wipe higher surfaces, then counters, then stove, then sink. Floor last, always last, because gravity exists. Crumbs fall, water drips, soap splashes. If you clean the floor first, you're basically signing up to do it twice. Cleaning in reverse order is about respecting physics. You let everything fall where it's going to fall, and then you deal with it once. 1 round, not 2. It sounds obvious when you say it out loud, but most of us were never taught sequence. We were just taught clean. And when you clean in the wrong order, you don't notice the repetition. You just feel tired and think, why does this always take so long? It takes long because you're undoing your own work. Reverse the order. Finish once. Sit down satisfied. 7. The cool down clean for pans. Now this one is all about catching the window. Most people make one of 2 mistakes with pans. They either try to wash them immediately while they're blazing hot, which leads to steam in the face and that dramatic sizzling sound that makes you jump, or they leave them overnight. And overnight is where trouble lives, because when grease cools completely, it hardens. Sauces dry into glue. That little bit of egg becomes industrial cement. So here's the smarter move. After cooking, turn off the heat and let the pan sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Not cold, not scorching, just warm. That's the sweet spot. When a pan is warm, grease hasn't locked itself into place yet. It's relaxed. Cooperative, willing to leave without a fight. Add warm water and a drop of dish soap during that window and watch what happens. Most of it loosens on its own. You wipe instead of scrubbing. No elbow grease. No leaning your body weight into it like you're sanding wood. It's not about cleaning immediately. It's about cleaning strategically. And partner, strategic cleaning is how you protect your wrists, shoulders, and patience, because scrubbing is what drains you. Wiping? That's manageable. 8. The 5-minute reset before sitting down. Now let's talk about the danger zone. You finish dinner. You feel full. You tell yourself, I'll just sit for a minute. And that minute becomes the rest of the night. We've all done it. Once you sit and relax, your body shifts into shutdown mode. Getting back up feels like climbing a hill. So here's the trick. Before you sit down for the evening, just 5 minutes. That's it. Not a full clean, not perfection, just reset. Clear the sink. Wipe the main counter. Put stray items back in place. Maybe sweep the obvious crumbs. 5 focused minutes while you're still upright. Here's what happens when you do this. Tomorrow morning, you walk into a kitchen that feels calm instead of chaotic. No immediate visual stress. No, ugh, I have to deal with that. And that emotional relief, that matters. Because sometimes fatigue isn't physical, it's mental. Seeing a messy kitchen first thing can drain your mood before you've even had coffee. 5 minutes tonight saves you 20 tomorrow. And here's the funny part. Once you start the 5-minute reset, you'll often finish faster than you think. Momentum kicks in. You're already moving. It feels good to complete the loop. But even if you stop at 5, you've already won. And honestly, reducing kitchen fatigue isn't just about cleaning smarter. It's about planning smarter. When meals, groceries, and medications are organized ahead of time, there's less chaos to clean up in the first place. That's one reason I personally use a simple wellness planner for seniors. It keeps everything in one place and clears the mental clutter. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. 9. Store cleaning tools. Where the mess happens. Now, this one is about friction. Not physical friction, behavioral friction. If your cleaning cloth is under the sink, behind a cabinet door, tucked behind a basket, you're less likely to grab it quickly. You'll think, I'll wipe that later. Later is where the buildup begins. Instead, place small tools exactly where the mess happens. Keep a microfiber cloth folded neatly in a drawer right next to the sink. Keep a small brush near the stove. Keep a handheld vacuum within reach of the eating area. When tools are within arm's reach, wiping becomes automatic. Spill happens. Cloth is there. Wipe. Done. No walking, no bending, no searching. Tiny reduction in effort, huge reduction in delay. And delay is what creates big cleaning days. When cleaning tools are convenient, the mess never grows into a problem. It gets handled while it's still small, and small messes don't exhaust you. 10. The one surface per day rotation. Here's the mistake most people make. They wait. They wait until the microwave looks questionable, until the fridge shelf feels sticky, until the cabinet doors start looking suspicious. And then, one day they decide, all right, I'm cleaning the whole kitchen. That's when fatigue shows up, because now it's a project. Instead, you rotate. One surface per day. That's it. Monday might be the microwave interior. Tuesday could be fridge handles. Wednesday, the stove knobs. Thursday, one fridge shelf. Friday, cabinet doors. Not the whole fridge. Not the whole stove. Just one specific surface. Here's what happens when you do this. Nothing ever becomes overwhelming. You're never scrubbing hardened ancient buildup because you never let it age that long. It's maintenance, not rescue work. And psychologically, this feels lighter. You don't wake up thinking, I need to clean the kitchen. You think, oh, today's microwave day. That's manageable. That's civilized. That's 5 minutes. And when 5-minute tasks stay 5 minutes, you never feel drained. The kitchen stays in quiet order without ever demanding a full day of your life. That's control, calm control. 11. The parking zone counter hack. Now let's talk about counters. Because counters are where chaos likes to gather. You cook, and suddenly there's a spoon here, a spatula there, a spice jar 3 feet away, and somehow a lid has wandered off on its own. And then, at the end, you're wiping 5 different zones instead of 1. Here's the fix. Designate one small area on your counter as the parking zone. It could be a tray, a silicone mat, a small cutting board that lives there permanently. While cooking, every used utensil goes there, not on the stove edge, not on the counter corner, not on the sink, in the parking zone. It becomes the official landing strip. Now, when you're done cooking, you don't scan the entire kitchen looking for splatter marks. You clean one contained area, lift the tray, Wipe underneath. Wipe the tray. Finished. The counter looks almost untouched. It's amazing how much visual peace this creates. Instead of a scattered battlefield, you have one controlled space that handled the action. And there is something deeply satisfying about controlled mess. It makes you feel organized even while cooking. You're not stopping the mess from happening. You're telling it where it's allowed to live. 12. The steam clean while you sleep microwave trick. Now, this one feels like magic the first time you try it. Microwaves get messy in a very specific way. They don't look terrible at first, just a few tiny splatters. Then, those splatters dry. Then you heat something else, and they bake a little more. And suddenly, you're staring at what looks like modern art on the inside walls. Most people grab a sponge and start scrubbing. Nope, we're smarter than that. Take a microwave-safe bowl, fill it with water, add a splash of vinegar or a few lemon slices. Heat it until it steams, usually about 3 to 4 minutes. Then, here's the important part. Don't open the door right away. Let the steam sit inside for 5 more minutes. What you're doing is softening everything without lifting a finger. The steam loosens dried food from the walls. It relaxes it. When you finally open the door, take a cloth and wipe. You'll notice something almost shocking. It slides off. No pressure, no wrist strain, no scrubbing like you're polishing a car. You're using physics instead of force. And that's the theme in all of this. Less force, more strategy. The microwave cleans itself halfway before you even touch it. That's the kind of partnership we like. 13. The cabinet handle reality check. Go into your kitchen right now and look at your cabinet handles. Not the doors, the handles. Those poor little handles go through a lot. Every time you cook, your hands touch oil, seasoning, butter, sauce, and then you grab the cabinet. You don't notice it happening. It's automatic. But over time, those handles quietly collect grease. And here's the sneaky part. Once they're greasy, they transfer that grease back onto your hands the next time you touch them. So now you've washed your hands, you grab the handle, and boom, invisible oil back on your fingers. Then you touch the counter, then the fridge, then the stove knob. And suddenly you're wiping surfaces that weren't even dirty 5 minutes ago. See the problem? Cabinet handles are contamination hubs, and because they're small, people forget them until they look shiny in a suspicious way. Here's the fix. Instead of waiting for them to look greasy, wipe them lightly every few days. Not a deep scrub. Just a quick pass with a damp microfiber cloth or gentle cleaner. It takes maybe 30 seconds to go down one row of handles. But those 30 seconds prevents grease from spreading through the entire kitchen. It's like cutting the problem off at the source. You're not cleaning more. You're preventing re-cleaning. And that, my friend, is how you reduce fatigue, by stopping the domino effect before it starts. Plus, there's something oddly satisfying about running your hand over a clean handle. It feels solid, crisp, like things are in order. Tiny detail, big payoff. 14. The cook once, wipe once rule. Now this one is more of a mindset shift, and it might be the most important one of all. After you cook, take a look around and ask yourself one simple question. Where did the real action happen? Was it the cutting board area, the stove, that one corner where you kept reaching for spices? There's usually one primary impact zone. That's where the splatter lives. That's where crumbs gather. That's where hands kept landing. Now here's what most people do wrong. They look at the whole kitchen and think, I need to clean everything. But did you actually use everything? Did the far end of the counter get touched? Did the opposite cabinet get splattered? Did the entire backsplash get involved? Probably not. So why are you wiping it like it did? The cook once, wipe once rule says this. Wipe thoroughly where you cooked. Leave the untouched areas alone. Focus on the impact zone. Clean it properly once, and then stop. No roaming around searching for imaginary dirt. No over-polishing already clean surfaces. No chasing perfection. Because chasing perfection is exhausting. You're not running a restaurant kitchen. You're cooking dinner. The goal is a functional reset, not a showroom. When you limit your cleaning to the areas that actually saw action, something interesting happens. Cleanup feels contained, manageable. You wipe, You step back, you see it's handled, and you're done. That sense of completion matters, because fatigue doesn't just come from scrubbing. It comes from feeling like the job never ends. And partner, when you adopt cook once, wipe once, the job ends faster. You cooked once. You wiped once. You move on with your evening. That's the rhythm we want. 15. The no-bend zone setup. Let me ask you something. When you clean your kitchen, where does most of the strain happen? It's not always in scrubbing. It's in bending. Bending to reach under the sink. Bending to grab a cloth. Bending to reach the trash can. Bending to pick something off the floor. That repeated bend and stand cycle is what really drains your energy. It's subtle, but it adds up fast. So here's the shift. Create a no-bend zone in your kitchen. That means the items you use most often for cleanup should live between waist and chest height. Not under the sink, not on the lowest shelf, not in a deep bottom drawer. Move your everyday cloths, sprays, and brushes to an easy access drawer or a small container on the counter. If you use a trash bin constantly while cooking, consider one that sits higher or closer, even temporarily during prep. Because here's the thing. Every unnecessary bend is a small energy withdrawal. And when you remove 5 or 6 of those per meal, you feel it. The kitchen suddenly feels easier. Not because you cleaned less, but because your body worked less. There's also a psychological benefit here. When tools are upright and visible, you use them faster. You wipe a spill immediately instead of thinking, I'll get to it later. And later usually means hardened mess. So this isn't laziness. It's ergonomics. You're designing your kitchen to work with you, not against you. And partner, at this stage of life, that's wisdom. You've spent decades bending, lifting, reaching. You don't need bonus reps in your own kitchen. Make your cleanup zone friendly to your spine. Keep what you use where you can reach it comfortably. Stand tall, wipe once, stay upright. That's the goal. Now here's what I hope you noticed. None of these hacks require you to work harder. They just require you to work smarter. We contained the mess. We cleaned at the right time. We stopped repeating the same work. We protected your back, your knees, and your patience. Because at this stage of life, the goal isn't perfection. It's preservation. Preserving your energy, your comfort. That feeling of, I handled it without feeling wiped out. And if just one of these tricks saves you 10 minutes and a sore shoulder tonight, that's a win. So here's what I want you to do. Pick one hack and try it this week. Just one. See how it feels. Then come back and tell me which one made the biggest difference. And if you'd like to check out some of the simple tools and resources I personally use to stay organized and reduce that daily kitchen chaos, they're listed in the pinned comment below. If this helped you, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with someone who's tired of feeling tired in their own kitchen, because cooking should feed you, not drain you. All right, partner. I'll see you in the next one.